What a beautiful morning. And by beautiful, I mean extremely dreary. Morning roundup, made the tentacles for the blue octo. This thing messed up again, but it worked out here. I only had to print it 4 effing times. 2 Moai 3s. It's not very often I have to print 2 of these. I can't remember whether this might be for a Gratitude Gang member, but yes, of course, we have the Chihuahua wastebasket. It's a product that deserves to be bigger than it is because it's so cool. Yep, D20 Bank. Predictably, Charcot. Dragon, and actually we just sold another dragon, so I'm probably just going to print another one of these guys right here. Lady Justice. A very cool stone finish product. So the guy that bought this big David can messaged me yesterday wanting to cancel. I have a clear policy at the top of my page on Etsy that says you have to cancel within 24 hours because obviously we make this stuff. It's kind of made to specifications. I feel like he may have sent it in error though. I told him like, no. Like this thing is like almost done. Might be a good time to just say, don't be a doormat to customers too much. I mean, maybe when you're starting out, you kind of have to be because you just have to get those reviews. But once you've got a few, man, don't let customers just roll over you. Like, this thing has been printing for quite a while, you guys have seen. And like, no, I'm not gonna cancel your order. Sorry, you ordered a thing and it's being shipped on time, so what are we doing? This turns out to be unnecessary T-Rex printed. Now I gotta make the arms. And of course, the Nosferatu trash can is done. And it is glorious. It is brooding and evil. Well, we got everything going. Printology is in a good place. I think we're going to that place down the street that has $7 burritos, because that would really hit the spot right now. In fact, I think we'll get coffee too. I wasn't going to, but we skipped it yesterday. So yeah, we're gonna get coffee, burrito. Then we have a ton of stuff to package, which will be great. And we got like, look at all these Moais here, lots of them. Oh yeah, quick question. Since I have a 3D printing audience, and I actually really need responses for this, so please answer if you know anything. Any of you guys have experience with print on demand? Like the sites where you get jobs, you print it, and then you ship that off? Because I'm kind of looking for stuff to do in January and February when it might be slower. I mean, we'll see how it is. So please tell me in the comments if you've ever done that and what it's like and whether it's worth it and all that kind of stuff. Oh man, something about this time of year, or almost every time of year, that my allergies get so bad. Ugh. But nothing a burrito won't fix. Like obviously, I'm not hurting or anything. I've got lots of savings and everything, but I don't like to dip into it ever. And like after Christmas, I mean, sometimes after Christmas sales keep being kind of good for a while, but it does get pretty slow. So I'm just like thinking about things to do. I just don't like touching my savings at all. I'm that guy. People do ask me a lot about like saving money and that kind of stuff, financial stuff. And honestly, you gotta be more hardcore than you feel like being. I'll put it that way, because almost everybody is broke. And like, I say that as somebody who was living on the street and broke, obviously. So like, you gotta, it's gonna feel like you're being too hardcore if you're doing it right. Generally speaking, that's a thing to keep in mind. Like if you feel like you're going too hard and being too strict, you're probably just right. Every once in a while I get comments or people on Facebook or something messaging me saying stuff like, you've got a successful business, you've got long-term crypto holdings. And I first bought Bitcoin when it was $253. So like people are always saying stuff like, why don't you have a nicer car? Why do you live like you do? And that's what I'm talking about. Like, it's a mentality thing. you have to just not act like you got money, you know, because that's the only way actually you will get money. You have to be more hardcore than you feel like being. That's just how it is. This is what it looks like, man. Like something Dave Ramsey talks about sometimes. He has a millionaire theme hour where he interviews people with $1 million net worth and up. And he asks them the same questions every single time. And he's done this something crazy, like 1,000 or 10,000 times or something. Maybe many of you have seen this. But he'll ask them, like, what's the most expensive pair of jeans you've ever bought? You know, what kind of car do you drive? And all these lifestyle questions. And every once in a while, it'll be like some real estate developer. He's like, I've got a Ferrari. But you'd be so shocked at how many of these people say, well, it's a Honda Civic, it's 5 years old or 10 years old or something like that. And I don't even know, we buy our jeans at Costco. I mean, a lot of these people, they're not living poorly or anything, but they're not like high on the hog at all. And I got used to having extremely low expenses, obviously, including not having a rent payment. So I live slightly more extravagantly than I got used to, but not much more. Like, more often than you would think, the guy driving a brand new Lexus down the street, that dude is broke. He could even have a good job. He could be an engineer making $80,000, $100,000 a year. You'd be surprised how many of those people don't have any money in the bank. All that crap you see people flexing on Instagram, like so much of it is just fake. Like there are these places where you can go to pay to pose next to a private jet or be in the desks inside looking like you're like on the phone closing deals and crap like that. Try not to swear. Like, that is fake, dude. So many of these influencers, these financial influencers, are pretty fake. Some of them aren't. You have to have some discernment on that. But like, I'm trying not to say something like doing well, this is what it looks like, but it kind of is. I mean, I'm maybe a little more extreme than your average person, but man, I just think about living on the street, and I just think I want to be as far away from that as I possibly can, and I've kind of engineered my life to be like that. Anyway, that's all to say that if any of you guys have experience with print on demand, I would be pretty interested. It's like, why have all these printers kind of not printing, right? I won't go on and on about it, but I'll put it in perspective. Like, I bought this car like a year ago, and of course the business was doing quite well and everything. And one of the first things that went through my mind when I started looking at it is, wow, I could sleep in this car really well. Like, this would be like a fairly comfortable car to sleep in because it's a giant Ford Taurus. Like, that's still how I'm thinking. We want the dunk. Give us the dunk. Give us the dunk. The whole dunk. Nothing but the dunk. So for some reason the burrito place is closed. So there goes that plan. Alright, I think we're doing Subway. Bag secured. Man, it is a dreary one today. Okay, about to tear this up. Then it's super duper packaging time. Time to package stuff. This is the little gray house bank. You can put coins in there and stuff. It's a item that never really sold super well, but it does sell consistently. Just not very much consistently. Time to package the guitar snake. Great Dane. Silver Hippo Boy. White Einstein, no hook. Another Great Dane, beautiful. I forgot to show them before, but this is a blue D20 bank. You've seen plenty of them. It's gonna give it to you, gonna give it to you. Little Sharky boy. Here's the big old frog dish. Very cool and shiny. Big pug dish. Candy pipe. Here's the Einstein desk organizer with the USB stuff and the SD card slot. More black drumstick hangers. Using up those filament boxes, baby. Black French bulldog. Tacos. This time we added the avocado. Beautiful. Well, that's a pretty solid day on the books. Time to close. Closing all the things. Closing every boy and every girl. Another day on the books. Haven't quite got this painted yet, but the guy is not canceling his order, so that's nice. Sometimes I get customers and it's like they think that their orders are late or something, but they didn't ever even look at what the estimates say. Like obviously with some of the big stuff, it takes a while to make these things. I give myself enough of a cushion that it's like reasonable, you know? But I think some people just expect that it's supposed to be like right away. They don't read in my shop description that everything's made to order and stuff, so sometimes you get that, around the holidays especially. People have been pretty cool. Generally, it's been real nice actually. I'm actually really grateful for the fact that I haven't had really a single customer be like a big pain this Christmas season, which is actually somewhat uncommon. Usually it's like once or twice per Christmas, somebody just flips out for no reason. It's the stress of the holidays, just the way it is. Sometimes with customers, man, no news is good news. I'm also really grateful for those tacos. They were so good. They were twice as good as they look, and they looked really good. On Discord, Colorado Creative Customs asks, you have 404 items for sale on Etsy. How many of those do you keep in stock versus like how many do you print when you sell one? Normally 0. I do obviously have some stuff in stock because it's Christmas, but okay, here's one of the things that convinced me to start my 3D printing business. My first online business was selling books. I had about 20,000 books, and I did a trade that is debatably illegal in order to acquire 3 tractor trailers full of books. It's not immoral, but I'm not 100% sure. I'm pretty sure it was legal, but I'm just going to not state what I was trading on Craigslist for these 3 tractor trailers full of books out of an abundance of caution. But anyway, I had 20,000 books, and like I said, that's a lot of books. So it took me a long time to list them, and I made a living for a few years, but it was never great. So that was my first experience in e-commerce. One of the things that convinced me to do 3D printing is you didn't have to have stuff in stock. You could just make a thing when you sell it. That's what people in those mail order catalogs used to do, or the mail order stuff at the end of magazines, like X-ray glasses and stuff like that, the weird things. The reason it said like 4 to 6 weeks for delivery is because they weren't made at the time that they were sold. They would just get a bunch of orders and then make that many of that thing. And almost all items like that back in the day were sold and manufactured in that way. So that's kind of what I thought about. I believe that's from the 4-hour work week that I learned that. And that's what made me think, okay, 3D printing might be a pretty good idea because I didn't have to have that much storage. From the comments and questions thread on Discord, which you should join, message me on Facebook. What are your thoughts? This is from Joe. What are your thoughts on Apple naming their new processor the M3? Obviously, it's going to be the best processor of all time. On YouTube, Mick Shimmy or something like that says, your light is falling off the ceiling, bud. Must be talking about that. Yes. Correct. Kenneth Horos, something like that, says, I prefer the special sauce between the bun and the something I looked at a second ago. He prefers the special sauce. He's talking about the burger. I really thought about putting some kind of, try to put like a sauce layer on there, like maybe some ketchup or something. It just had enough layers as it was, and it was gonna take long enough. I felt like I kind of got the essentials. Also, for the giant burger, I really debated putting pickles on there. But there was already a green thing on there, the lettuce. I wasn't sure if it'd be super clear, like which was which. I'd try to make them different shades, but you can only do so much. Like 5 or 6 pieces is enough, you know. Rook6591 says, basically, why are you hating on Jack Johnson? That's anti-gratitude gang. I'm grateful that I get to hate on Jack Johnson. Actually, I feel like in yesterday's video I said, I could be wrong, but I feel like I said I am grateful that we made it out of the Jack Johnson era. If I didn't say it in yesterday's video, I have said that before. I am very grateful for whatever flaws current music has, that I'm not hearing Jack Johnson when I'm like getting groceries and stuff. So it's all about the gratitude, baby. Well, Daddy's pretty tired. Before I literally go catatonic, it is the gratitude gang up time. Tell us what you're grateful for. Tell us what you're enjoying. Tell us the secret passcode to your granddad's safe. Tell us what secret documents he has stuffed in there, sequestered away ever since the ending of the war. They must have hidden the plans in the escape pod. You are part of the Rebel Alliance and a traitor. I was today years old when I realized not only could Sean Connery have been cast in Star Wars, debatably he should have. True fact, I believe the guy that actually played Darth Vader, particularly in the first movie, he did have a Scottish accent. Like, obviously they overdubbed James Earl Jones' vocal parts over the footage, but the guy that was actually saying the lines when they were filming the movie, I believe he was Scottish. I want to say his name was like David, it's probably not David Cross, but it's something that sounds kind of like that. I could be misremembering that. Basically, Darth Vader should have been Scottish. Obi-Wan never told you. I find your lack of faith disturbing. When I left you, I was but a learner. Now I am the master. Only a master of evil, Darth. If you're grateful for Star Wars quotes, you can write that in the comment section below. Also, for extra early bonus content, and I do mean that, early bonus content, exclusive content, video content, join the Discord, message me on Facebook. But until that time, write what you're grateful for, what's giving you joy in your everyday life, your coffee, anything you want to talk about, in the comment section. We are the Gratitude Gang. We are grateful for things. Peace out. Looks really cool out here. When I left you, I was but a learner. Now I am the master.